Hey there, everybody. It's Ellen Weatherford.
And Christian Weatherford.
And this is Just the Zoo of Us, your favorite animal review podcast, where we rate your favorite animals out of 10 in the category of effectiveness, ingenuity, and aesthetics. You remember what you say here?
It's like a far and distant memory through the fog.
We haven't recorded together in a little while. Did you forget what you're supposed to say in the intro?
I'm just going to wing it.
Okay, go for it. Let's hear it.
We are not zoological experts, but we do try to find the best information we can.
Can I go on like the quickest little rant before we get into the meat and potatoes of the episode?
Yeah.
Just as a little like intro banter.
Okay.
Okay, so this was inspired by an Instagram message that I got from listener Katie Reinert. So thank you for sending this in and bringing this to my attention. This is about a recent movie that you have seen, Christian, that I have not seen, called Leo.
Yes.
You watched this movie. Would you say it was a good movie?
I think so.
You liked the movie?
Yeah. I mean, okay. I historically have not been a huge fan of Adam Sandler movies.
I was going to say, I'm not. That's kind of why I skipped this one. I'm not really a Sandler girly.
Well, the kids wanted to watch it. I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, you thought it was a decent movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're not familiar, this is a movie where Adam Sandler is the voice of this large lizard who is a class pet. And you said it was something about he wanted to go to the Everglades?
Yes.
Which would make sense for an iguana.
Okay, yes.
Which live in South Florida, right?
Yes.
So Katie sends in this message to Instagram, says, as both a parent and science communicator, I'm hoping you can help me watch the movie Leo. My kid loves it. It's a nice movie overall, but watching it and hearing that Leo is a tuatara...
Huh.
It's like feeling a splinter under my skin I can't get rid of. As far as I know, spoiler, there's not a whole population of this rare reptile hanging out in Florida. Having a tuatara as a class pet is still off, but the wild population seems crazy. Is there any info you have or any way to spin this so I can watch this movie and not go on a rant to my husband about how they should have just had Leo be an iguana? And so I read this message and I turned to you and I said, was Leo a tuatara? And you were like, no. Obviously not. Clearly not.
I mean, in someone's defense, I don't know whose yet. I would not be able to identify a tuatara. But I was pretty sure.
I'll tell you what they don't look like. They don't look like iguanas. I mean, like, I guess if you're only familiar with them as being like other large lizards, and tuataras aren't like technically lizards. They're like off in their own group. They're not like technically a lizard. You would not mistake one for an iguana.
Okay.
And Leo in the movie looks like an iguana to me.
Yeah.
But they apparently, I had to look this up because you were like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't a tuatara. And I looked it up and sure enough, right on the Wikipedia page for the movie, they do specifically say that he's a tuatara. So I have a couple of issues with this for people who've watched this movie. First of all, no, there is not a feral tuatara population. There are no tuataras in Florida. I don't know about in captivity. Probably one of those fools has one in captivity, but...
Are we sure this wasn't a case of some very niche Wikipedia vandalism?
I'm not watching the movie to verify this. I'm not doing it.
I'll do my part. I'll watch it a second time.
I'm taking Katie's word for it.
Okay.
And it's on the Wikipedia, like on the Wikipedia for the movie, not like a fan wiki or something like this. It's like on the actual Wikipedia.
This was done by Big New Zealand, I'm sure.
Well, so here's another thing. Not only are there not wild tuataras hanging out in Florida, which, I mean, big surprise because what doesn't have a feral population in the Everglades, but it is illegal to have a tuatara outside of New Zealand.
Huh.
Like, they are illegal to export. Illegal to keep as pets. You cannot do that. They are super, super highly monitored and like their conservation is very like tightly managed. You can't just have one. You certainly would not have one as a class pet. And Katie is very right. It is a really weird choice for them to call him a tuatara when they could have just as easily said iguana and it would have made more sense.
It goes deeper, perhaps.
You think this goes deeper?
When were those laws enacted about tuataras?
A long time ago, I
because
bet.
The driving force in this plot of the movie is that Leo is nearing his expiration. He's very old.
His natural lifespan.
Yes. And that's why he wants to see the Everglades before he kicks it.
See, I read in the synopsis on Wikipedia, I'm so sorry to anyone who hasn't seen this movie. This is going to be a huge spoiler, but like the lifespan of a tuatara like plays into the plot, because tuataras are very long-lived animals. They live for, they can live for over 100 years, and that is like a key component. So I don't know if maybe they picked tuatara because they're long-lived.
It was maybe. I mean, the longevity was a definite plot point, but I swear I don't remember them ever saying the word tuatara in that movie.
How closely were you paying attention? You watched this
maybe
with the kids.
50%.
Okay, here we go. That's you were watching it with the kids. I'm feeling like maybe a little TikTok scrolling
probably
happened here and there.
Yeah.
And see, now I have to be mad about a movie I've never seen. I've never seen this movie in my life. I will never watch this movie, but now I have to be mad about it.
It's so peculiar. It's either a very strange decision someone made or a very interesting mistake.
Yeah, it's really weird, but like a very strange, like, because a tuatara, that's like a deep cut, right?
Yeah.
Like that's an obscure animal. I mean, it's probably not that obscure for people who live in New Zealand and know about tuataras, but for, American movie watchers, if you've heard of a tuatara, you would know that they don't go there. Like, if you have any name recognition, you probably know enough about them to know that that's a weird choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. That was just a weird thing. Anyway. Time for the podcast.
I'll be thinking about this for days.
I know you are.
Put on my private investigator hat.
Yeah, okay. Let's put on our thinking caps and let's get to the bottom of this.
Adam Sandler owes us answers.
Adam Sandler, we know you're listening. He's a huge fan. He listens all the time.
For sure.
DM us. You got the digits. You know how to get a hold of us. But it is my turn to go first this week.
Unrelated animal.
No, unrelated. This has nothing to do with the last 9 minutes.
Great. What have you got for us this week, Ellen?
This week, I'm talking about zebras.
Okay.
I am really excited.
Or zebras, as they're sometimes pronounced.
Not by me. By somebody, I'm sure. Not me. Couldn't be me. Zebras. I am so excited to talk about zebras. I have some real fun surprises in here for you that I'm really excited about.
Oh, good.
There are 3 species of zebra in the genus Equus, which is also the genus that horses belong to.
Okay.
Very closely related to horses. You've probably noticed a little bit of family similarity between zebras and horses. I'm going to call this a submission by AJ Cruz because AJ sent in an email about a news article. It's been huge news locally in our area, in the Washington area, over the last couple of weeks. I will talk about it at the end. Didn't specifically request that we do a whole segment on zebras, but I figured while we're here, like while we're in the neighborhood, let's talk about zebras because there's a lot of cool stuff to say about zebras. I'm getting my information mostly from the San Diego Zoo's website, but also from a lot of other sources that I'm going to cite along the way as they come up. Now, if you're unfamiliar with zebras, they are up to 5 feet tall, which is 1.5 meters. I'm assuming that's at the shoulder. I actually didn't look it up, but usually horses are measured at the shoulder.
I was going to say, like, do we also measure in hands here, or?
You know what? I don't know. That is a weird thing with, like, horses are measured in hands.
Yeah.
For just horses and nothing else in the universe. A very horse-specific unit of measurement. They're found throughout eastern and southern Africa. And they are in the family Equidae, which includes the horses. And I did want to take a moment to talk about equines. Equines. I don't know if it's equines or equines. They are in a group called odd-toed ungulates. Ungulates are hoofed mammals.
Yeah.
So critters with hooves, that's an ungulate. And there's 2 major groups. There's odd-toed and even-toed. Most of them are even-toed. So like cows, deer, goats, sheep, pigs. If they have a hoof that's like split down the middle, that's an even-toed ungulate. But an odd-toed ungulate are things like rhinos, tapirs, and horses. So all of these ungulate species come from a common ancestor that had 5 toes, but over time, they shifted their weight primarily onto their middle toe. So if you imagine walking around on your hands, like if your hands were like paws, and imagine that all of your weight is being put onto your middle finger, that's about how their toe weight is distributed. So in rhinos and tapirs, the other toes kind of just get smaller. In horses and zebras and donkeys, they were like, get rid of them. We don't need those toes. It's just the one toe.
Yeah.
They're like, let's just make this one toe huge. And then we just don't need the rest. It's fine. We don't need the other ones.
Mm-hmm,
So they got rid of all their other toes. And they just have the one toe. And then the hard, like, capsule around the outside is more analogous to what we would think of as a fingernail.
Right.
So it's a little bit weird to think about horse hoof anatomy compared to human limb anatomy, because they're basically walking around on their, like, the very, very tips of their toes, like on their nails.
I like anatomy diagrams of the, like, skeletal structures that color things in to show you the analogous parts.
I looked at a lot of these. Yes.
I like those.
It's very helpful to see it that way. But it's also helpful for me to think about it in terms of, like, okay, it's kind of like my middle finger. So they are just kind of running around on, like, the very, very tips of their one toes, almost like ballet, like point shoes. It's interesting to think about them, like, holding all of that weight like that.
I wonder what led to that.
I don't know why that layout has benefited them. As for zebras in particular, there are 3 species of zebra alive today. They are the gravy zebra, mountain zebra, and plains zebra. And there actually was a subspecies of the plains zebra called the quagga. Have you heard of the quagga?
No.
This was a subspecies of zebra that they basically had brown stripes instead of black, and they kind of, like, faded towards the end of the body. So it had a very different coloration from the zebras that we see today. But those were hunted to extinction by Europeans in the 1870s. Kind of a familiar story. But now there are ongoing efforts to breed plains zebras, the ones we have today, back into quaggas. They're trying to work backwards from their closest relatives and, like, breed them back into quaggas. Which we've talked about de-extinction before.
Yeah.
A long time ago on the thylacine episode, we talked about it. This is a pretty low-tech approach to de-extinction because it's just a breeding effort, basically.
Yeah.
They're just trying to, like, breed what we have into something that would most closely resemble what we lost. And apparently it's going quite well. It's been going on since the 80s, and the zebras from this program are looking a lot like the preserved specimens we have of quaggas. So they're, like, kind of coming back. And I got that from the website for the Quagga Project.
Wow.
Which is the people trying to bring quaggas back, which I think is really cool.
That is cool.
Ethical questions aside, if you're interested in the sort of ethical discussion around de-extinction, go back and listen to our thylacine episode. Let's get into our ratings for zebras. If this is your first time ever listening to this podcast, we rate animals out of 10. The first category is effectiveness, which is physical adaptations that let the animal do a good job of the things they're trying to do. I'm giving zebras an 8 out of 10. And let's just talk about the stripes, because I know why you're here. Like, I know why y'all are listening. You want to know about the stripes.
Couldn't wait till aesthetics.
No, because it's much more functional than just aesthetics.
Fun.
It does stuff. So, first question, what do you think? Are they black with white stripes or white with black stripes? What do you think?
Well, I've been told this before, but I never remember it.
This is working in my favor. Because I think I have told you this before, and I think you weren't listening. And so this is really working for me in this case.
I'm going to say black with white stripes.
You are correct.
Yes.
So the reason I say that is because the skin underneath their fur is black.
Not striped.
Not striped. It's just black. You can actually see it if you look really closely at, like, their nose, like the end of their muzzle, the nose where it's basically bald or the hair is very thin. You can see that it's black. And even if you look on the bottom of their belly, it's weird. Like, the stripes, like, turn white and it looks from the side like their belly is white. But if you actually look at the very bottom of their belly where the hair parts, it's black.
Oh.
Yeah. So they are black underneath. And so you could say that they're black with white stripes. Now, the big question is, why do they have these black and white stripes? Because there's some other ungulates that have, like, some black and white stripes. You see this in, like, the okapi. But in the zebras, it's kind of their whole thing. It's very pronounced. And so this has had people for basically ever, as long as people have known about zebras, wondering, like, why are they like this? Why do they have black and white stripes like that? And there have been a lot of attempts at answering this question. There's been a lot of discourse around this, lots of suggestions. So I'm going to go over a few that stand out. The first and kind of maybe most obvious one is camouflage. Like, you see it, you're like, okay, up and down stripes. They live in grasslands with lots of up and down grass. kind of makes sense that they would be for camouflage. But there's a couple of problems with this. One of them is that the zebras are putting no effort whatsoever into not being seen. They travel in huge herds. There's hundreds or thousands of them together in a group at a time. They are so loud. They're very loud. They're also huge and like tower over the grasses. Like, they're not like difficult to notice. They're not hiding. They don't appear to be acting cryptically. So it wouldn't necessarily make any sense for this to be camouflage if they're just negating all of their camouflage with their behaviors.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, probably not likely. Now, some scientists have suggested that the high contrasting stripes are a form of aposematic coloration, which I guess makes sense if you consider getting kicked in the jaw to be
I see.
Like toxic, I guess. Toxic to the health of your skull, I suppose. That's a joke. Aposematism isn't specific to like chemical defenses. You know, you'll see this in like animals that aren't necessarily poisonous or venomous, but it is a warning coloration. Something like, hey, I will make you have a bad time if you try to eat me, right? And like zebras are mean. They will fight back. They will kick you. Like they are feisty. So like maybe there's something there, but you know, this one doesn't hold a lot of weight either. Now, the most common explanation that I have ever seen referenced today, this is the one that I see floating around on like little fun fact, did you know websites, is something that I think is adorably called the motion dazzle hypothesis, which suggests that these stripes are there to confuse predators. Have you heard this?
This sounds a lot like the coral snake a little bit.
It's approaching that. Yeah. This is more the idea that the tight repeating pattern makes their individual silhouettes sort of merge together. So this is more them in like conjunction with each other. More that you went with the coral snake, you were talking about the flicker fusion effect.
Yeah.
This is more like when all of the zebras are together as a group, their stripes make them blend together, and it's hard to like pick one out because a predator might want to like pick one zebra to hunt, and if you can't really tell one zebra from another, it's difficult to start hunting one
or identify the weakest like one,
or identify the weakest one, or even just like if one starts moving, you don't know where it's gone. Like it's hard to follow. But there's actually a couple of problems with this. One of them is that when zebras are attacked by a predator, they don't stick together. Like a school of fish or something, when they're being like attacked by a shark or a dolphin or something, they stay together because that's the illusion they're going for. They're going for this like illusion of cohesion. Zebras don't, they scatter. They all go in different directions. So that would effectively break the illusion that they are supposedly trying to use to defend themselves. So if that was part of their strategy, they would want to stay together, but they don't seem to do that. But another issue with this is that the lions are able to hunt them just fine. Like, it does not work. If it's supposed to be confusing predators, it's not working.
Maybe the lion's just in the lead of the evolutionary arms race.
Well, so here's the thing. In 2021, scientists in the UK ran a very fascinating experiment that I think is so cute, testing the motion dazzle hypothesis with a video game.
Oh.
So I'm going to quote from the paper. I found the paper. I'm going to quote. They say, to obtain the large amount of data required for this approach, we ran our experiment as a citizen science game, Dazzlebug, in a popular visitor attraction. Participants played the game by tapping on moving targets, bugs, with their finger as quickly as possible in order to catch them. We ran a number of replicates of the evolutionary process for 3 populations of different speeds to assess whether the optimal patterning changes as a function of the target movement speed. So, it's this little game. The version of it that I saw, because there is actually a link to where you can play the game. You can play Dazzlebug the way that they like ran it in this experiment. It's a little black and white game where they'll show you this like background that'll be like, maybe it looks kind of like leaves or a bush or grass or something like that. And then this little bug crawls around and you have to like click it, but the little bug's pattern changes each time and you have to click it. And so the game is measuring how long it takes you to click on the bug based on how the pattern changes. So it's trying to see which pattern seems to be the most effective at keeping the bug alive for the longest. And then every generation of bugs, the program would basically keep the most successful patterns, keep them into the next generation, and then the next wave of patterns would be based on the successful patterns.
Okay.
So over the generations, it would arrive at the most successful patterns that are the best at not being caught. And they found that the most successful patterns were not highly contrasting, complicated designs. They were solid, monochromatic, and they matched the color of the background. So it didn't matter if they were like bright, highly contrasting stripes, spots, whatever. It didn't matter. The ones that were the most successful, this was on like a black and white background, were solid gray. Yeah, like every time, in every population, the highly contrasting patterns were actually less effective at not being caught by predators.
But this was based on human vision, wasn't it?
Yes. So this was based on human vision. This was also installed on a touchscreen in an exhibit at the Eden Project in the UK. And, you know, it's also a video game, right? So, like, you don't know how seriously people are taking it. Like, but what it does tell us is that for a visual creature, at least, a creature that is mostly perceiving its environment with vision, the highly contrasting patterns don't seem to be very effective at thwarting detection. So this kind of challenges the motion dazzle hypothesis of like, well, that doesn't really actually seem to work. It could actually be making them more noticeable and easier to spot. And that paper, by the way, was called The Evolution of Patterning During Movement in a Large-Scale Citizen Science Game. That was by Anna E. Hughes et al. In the Proceedings of the Royal Society of Biological Sciences in January of 2021. So all that being said, the explanation that now has the most scientific support is a little surprising. I don't think I'd heard this one before. The stripes help keep away biting flies. Have you heard this?
I had.
So the zebras share their range and their habitats with lots of biting parasite flies, including the tsetse fly, which is really well known for being a just like devastating disease vector. This is like a menace of a fly. They carry diseases. They're they're aggressive biters. Now, in lots of experiments, biting flies have been shown to avoid landing on surfaces with that black and white stripe pattern, even when it is applied to other animals. So when scientists put a zebra striped coat on a regular horse, the flies wouldn't land on it.
Yeah.
So it seems like it is the coloration. It's not something else about the zebra that's repelling the flies. It's the black and white stripes. So that mechanism is not fully understood yet. Like scientists,
why?
Why? Why aren't they landing on the zebra? Why do they not want to land on these black and white stripes? It could be something about how the like high contrast is throwing off their vision somehow. It could be something that's confusing their vision. Like maybe they don't understand the shadows. Like maybe it's something like they don't understand what they're looking at. It could also be that the black and white stripes are creating alternating temperature zones, and biting flies and like biting insects often rely on temperature detection to find like somewhere to land. So if they see an area that like is both like has very high alternating hot and cold areas, they might be thrown off by that and not recognize it as an animal to land on. So it could be a little bit of that. Like it's not completely confirmed, like understood why the black and white patterns throw off flies, but it has held up to experimentation that it is keeping flies away, and that zebras are much less bitten by flies, and that flies land on zebras much less than they do other animals.
Do they pass, I guess, pretty harmful diseases to zebras?
I would imagine they do. I mean, I know they do to humans, and I don't think we're special, so probably certainly not something they'd want. And it's got to be annoying, you know? Like, it's just not something you want.
I was just thinking if that was something that was selected for, it had to have been something that was improving survival and reproduction chances in some way.
Yeah, like if they're not being parasitized and not receiving those viruses as much, maybe they're not, you know, being killed off by those diseases.
So I guess that's not necessarily the case with these kinds of things. Maybe it's just
well, it could be a little bit of everything, right? It could be a little bit that it repels flies, a little bit that, you know, maybe it makes them more difficult to look at, a little bit that another one is social recognition. Like they can identify each other by their stripe patterns, which is true. They do recognize each other by their stripe patterns.
I was just having a thought, like maybe the fly thing is like an unintended consequence.
Right.
What really drove it was just it was attractive for mates.
Well, a lot of times if it was like like a sexually selected thing. You'd see it in one, like you'd see it like in males, but not in females or something. Like you'd see it maybe more pronounced in one sex than the other, but males and females all have the same stripes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it could be like a little bit of everything. You know, these things rarely have a straightforward, like, it's definitely this answer.
Right.
But the one that holds up the best, like, consistently in, like, scientific experimentation is the fly repellent. Yeah, seems kind of interesting. So the only other thing that I really wanted to talk about in effectiveness for zebras, because I feel like this is something we haven't really talked about with other ungulates before, and it's not unique to zebras, but it was something I wanted to bring up, is their horizontal slit pupils.
Oh.
So if you look really closely at a zebra, a horse, a goat, a sheep, many types of ungulates that graze on grasses, they have pupils that are not a round circle like a human's. They are horizontal, so they are spread wide in kind of an oblong shape. And so this helps them have a really, really wide field of view, so they can see in like this really wide arc around their body. And since their eyes are actually situated on the side of their head and not on the front, they have a nearly 360 degree field of view. I think it's not fully 360 degrees. They have blind spots like directly in front and directly behind them, but they can see most of the way around their whole body. So this lets them see if like a predator is coming up on them from just about any angle. And since they're in a herd, even if you do have a blind spot, your neighbor probably is facing in a direction where they can cover your blind spot. So wide field of view. And something I've talked about with goats, and I'm pretty sure this is not specific to goats, like any ungulate does this. So if you imagine when their head is down to graze on grass, they need to keep the horizontal slit of their pupil level with the ground. Otherwise, it's not doing anything for them, right? Because it's only useful for seeing across the horizon. So when they lower their head, the pupils rotate in their socket to like tilt to stay level with the ground.
So like the whole eyeball.
The whole eyeball.
Rotates.
Yes, rotates. And not like in a left to right sort of way, like rotating like to a different orientation.
Yeah.
So I have talked about this before, and people have let me know that apparently the human eye does this to a very small extent as well. I have tried to invoke it in myself. I cannot do it. I don't know if my eyes are busted. I don't know what's wrong with me. But my eyes, I could not get myself to do it. But people have said that if you tilt your head kind of like to the left or right, your eye kind of rotates to stay a little bit level. It doesn't do it as much as ungulates, but it's an interesting little trick of the eye.
To unlock the eye jutsu.
Oh my God. All right, reset the counter. Days since last Naruto reference. It's right on back to zero. This is unfair. You've been watching a lot of Naruto recently.
By proxy, yeah.
Yeah, Isaac's in a Naruto phase, so we're in a Naruto house. So to move into ingenuity for zebras, ingenuity for us is behaviors, things they're actually doing to solve problems that they face, thrive in their environment, things like that. I'm giving zebras a 7 out of 10. They rely on strength in numbers for the most part. They are very, very social. They travel in huge herds that can number up to 10,000 individuals at a time. And at night, when the herd rests, some of the zebras will stay awake and act as lookouts to alarm the herd if they do see something like a nocturnal predator. A lot of big cats hunt at night, so they'll stay awake for that. Now, zebra foals learn to recognize their mother by her unique stripe pattern. This is something I mentioned a minute ago. So when they're born, they have to learn what their mom's stripes look like. So she will actually separate her foal from the herd for like a couple days. The foal, when they're born, they can already walk. Like they're ready to go. Like I think like 20 minutes they're up and walking around. But she'll kind of keep the foal at a little bit of a distance from the herd so the foal will learn her stripes specifically and learn to follow her. Now here's the thing about that. In 2020, the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust in Nairobi, Kenya, posted a story on their website about an orphaned zebra foal whose mother was sadly eaten by lions. So the foal ran for the closest herd he could find, which ended up being a herd of goats that were like someone's goats, like a farmer's goats. So the herders took the zebra to the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust, where he was taken in and he was cared for by keepers. Now, here's the thing. Since zebra foals imprint on stripe patterns, the keepers caring for the zebra foals at the Wildlife Trust wear a zebra stripe patterned jacket while caring for them so that the foals will learn that jacket's stripes. And then when someone else needs to take over for them, they give the jacket to another keeper and the foal just follows them. Like,
it's like a magic item.
it's like a talisman of zebra friendship. So they will pass this jacket around, and whoever's wearing this jacket, the zebra, will be like, that's my mom. Oh, my mom's looking a little different today. Like, that's weird. My mom's a little shorter than she was yesterday. Like, so they pass this jacket around so that the zebra will follow it. It is so cute. And I have to say this. The jacket is so fly. It is the freshest jacket. It's like a novelty tuxedo jacket with zebra stripes on it. And so you see these pictures of these these keepers like out caring for the zebra foal with this very cool zebra striped jacket. And it is charming. I will have a link to the story in the episode description because you should see these pictures. It's really good. Finally, for aesthetics for zebras, I am giving them a full 10 out of 10. I do think the zebra is possibly the most beautiful animal in the world. I have no improvements to suggest for the zebra. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. Already, it's everything you love about horses. Not you specifically, because you're weird about horses. You have a weird horse thing. I love horses. I think horses are great. I think horses are beautiful. A lot of people think horses are just the most beautiful, majestic animal. I'm one of those people. If horses have no fans, I'm dead. This is a gorgeous creature. But it's an improvement on the horse because the horse already great. And then you've got these just like stunning black and white stripes, high contrast. It's classic. It goes with everything. It's just so good. And then on top of all of that, they have a mohawk. Like, their mane is just this mohawk that stands straight up. Incredible. It's the best. Like, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, they're like, make it a little punk. And it's so good.
There's a character in, what was that Netflix show? Centaur World. Yeah. There's a zebra character, a zebra centaur, basically. That I think matches that, idol energy.
Sure, yeah. This is, I think, maybe the prettiest animal in the world. Maybe, like, aesthetically, it's got to be one of my favorites, aesthetically. Very cool animal. I love them.
You do like animal print in general.
I do like animal prints, yes. And I know that animal prints kind of like, they'll be like really popular for like a minute and then they'll fade back until like they'll go out of style again. And I'm always just like, waiting. I'm like, I know you'll be back. I know you'll all be back.
She's holding those stonks.
I am. I'm always ready. I'm ready. It's coming back, I swear. I know right now we're not in right now the animal print of choice is, I think, cow print. That is like the trendy animal print at the moment. I'm not so on board with that, but I know zebra's coming back. Zebra was really big in like the mid 2000s for little girls, at least. I know like every girl my age had like a zebra print something, like zebra print pillows in their room or something like that. I love it. I think it's great. It never goes out of style for me. I think it's amazing.
Very good.
So all three species are of some level of conservation concern. Gravy zebra is actually endangered, and for all three of them, their biggest conservation threat is habitat loss to and competition with livestock. So in their habitats where they live, large areas of their territory are used for farming for livestock, and then the livestock grazes the fields and the grasslands that they live on and doesn't leave enough grass behind for the zebras. Because remember, zebras travel in groups of they can be thousands of zebras at a time. And if livestock has already grazed the field, the zebras aren't going to be able to sustain themselves there. Actually, Gravy's Zebra Trust writes on their website, in northern Kenya, the nomadic culture of the pastoralists is changing with permanently settled communities across the landscape. As a result, their livestock is not moving like it used to, and there is continuous grazing of plants throughout the landscape. This limits plant growth and recovery. To address this, we're working with communities to intentionally plan for recovery time, which requires identifying grazing areas where livestock is prohibited to allow for their recovery. So basically, this is just kind of like the changing landscape of the world, right? Where communities who have maybe farmed livestock on this land for thousands of years, they used to be able to rotate between areas in their field. They might be able to like, okay, we'll graze here for a little while, then we'll move somewhere else, graze over there, come back another time after the grasses have come back. But they don't have that kind of space anymore, and they don't have the ability to move around within these like lands as much as they have in the past. So now instead of being able to graze here, move over there, graze there, they've had to graze in one spot. It's not giving the land time to recover. So there's some interesting work around like land management and getting back to the more sustainable, like rotating schedule that it was on before. So there's some interesting hope for that. Another thing I wanted to touch on is something called zebroids that are hybrids between zebras and other equine species. This is not known to happen in the wild. This seems to only happen in captivity, but I did find documented instances of the names. I had to say the names out loud. Zorses, Zonies, and Zonkies. Which all sound like something that like they'd say on Scooby-Doo, like Zonkies.
Scoob. The Zonkies.
The Zonkies. That's not gonna be funny to anyone else. We have this obsession with in Kanto. There's like a throwaway line where one character in the background says, "Louisa, the donkeys." And I don't know what it is that our family is obsessed with, but I think we say that at least once a week. Like,
because it sounds like it was Ray Romano that walked into the studio.
Like nobody else, nobody else cares that it sounds like Ray Romano, but it is so funny that we like think about it all the time. Every time we see a donkey, our whole car erupts with "Louisa, the donkeys." If you have ever been driving around California, you may have been surprised to come across a zebra just kind of chilling, walking around. That is because there is a herd of feral zebras in California. They're descended from escaped zebras that were once owned by, here's a weird name drop, William Randolph Hearst. Does this name sound familiar to you?
It does, but that's about it.
Where you may have heard this was in your last U.S. history class in high school. So William Randolph Hearst was famous and is mentioned in history classes because his journalistic feud with competitor Joseph Pulitzer gave rise to the practice of yellow journalism.
What is yellow journalism?
I'm glad you asked. It is a sensationalized and hyperbolic style of journalism that encourages very flashy, attention-grabbing. This is like the 19th century clickbait, basically, where like you'd see newspapers with these very incendiary headlines, right?
If they could see today.
It was kind of like the beginning of like that sort of trend.
Yeah.
So the father of yellow journalism also unleashed a bunch of zebras into California. And it just so happens, so basically he owned all these zebras, and then after he died and his estate was like not super great managed, the zebras escaped. And then there was some legal loopholes where the state couldn't technically do anything about it. And so they're like, all right, just let the zebras be there, I guess. And so it just so happens that like the climate of California where these zebras live is like really, really good for zebras. And so they're just having a great time. And because he would have had them there around like the turn of the century because he wrote about the Spanish-American War. So this would have been like 1890s. Yeah. And these zebras are still there. I mean, obviously it's not the same zebras, but they're doing great.
Why did he have the zebras?
For funsies. He had like a whole private zoo and he had like a bunch of weird animals. People did that at that. I mean, they still do that, but like that was more common then than I think it is now, where there were not as strict laws about like what animals you can and can't have.
Right.
But on the topic of zebras being where they shouldn't be, the whole reason that I got talking about these now and the whole thing that our listener had sent in was a local news story. I don't know how much of a story this was outside of the Puget Sound area. So I don't know if anybody listening has actually heard this story. It was huge news here. I don't know if anybody else here heard about it. So on April 28th, so that was a few weeks ago now, 4 zebras escaped from a trailer that was transporting them from Washington to Montana. And they escaped in North Bend, which is a little bit east of Seattle. So 4 zebras escaped the trailer. 3 of the zebras were immediately recaptured, put back in the trailer, no big deal. The 4th zebra was a zebra named Shug. She spent 6 days roaming the North Bend area before she was recaptured and sent back on her way to rejoin her sisters.
Notably very different climate.
Yeah,
perhaps.
Extremely. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good that this happened like in the spring, like late springtime, where it was okay, right? I'm sure she was fine. If this had happened in like December, it wouldn't have been good.
Although, just the thought of the black and white stripes against snow sounds like a nice image. That
would be really pretty. That would be really cool to see. Wouldn't help her a whole lot, though. Like, not a ton of biting flies out here she would need to worry about. Would make her a lot easier to find, though. That would be great. So this zebra was on the loose for 6 days. Those 6 days were the funniest time to be on social media in the Seattle area because everybody knew there was a zebra on the loose somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it was great. Every business was making like memes. I would see like the library would post like a picture of the library and they photoshopped a little zebra like running into the library and they'd be like, everyone's welcome at the library. Like everybody was making memes about the zebra running around in Seattle.
Yeah. It was one goofy news reporter like interview away from being on the same meme level as the Alabama leprechaun. Do you remember that?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Never mind that.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was a very fun time to be online in the Seattle area. It was, and like I said, like I saw this and mostly just like talked about locally. We were having a great time with it, but I don't know to what degree this was covered outside of Seattle, but it was a very fun time for us. And kind of my final little thing for zebras, a little personal note, 2 zebras appeared on this podcast's very first original cover art. If anyone listening has been here from day one, so you must be an immediate family member or perhaps very close friend of mine. If anyone has been listening from day one, our original cover art was just a photo of 2 zebras with just the title, Just the Zoo of Us, in like white text over it. It was because it was 2 zebras. It was like just the zoo of us. And the 2 zebras were kind of like cutely like leaning against each other and kind of like nibbling on each other.
Was that your own creation?
No, it wasn't a picture I took. It was a picture that was just some stock image that I got. Like it was like a default built-in sort of like I posted the podcast and they were like, do you want to do cover art? I was like, I should do that. And they were like, we got you. Here, pick a stock image and type your title on it. And I was like, okay, cool. That was the cover art until we got actual cover art.
Cool.
So anybody who's been a long time listener will remember that originally the Just the Zoo of Us was 2 zebras. Not as zebras.
Thanks, babe.
Thank you. Let's take a quick break to hear from our friends on the Maximum Fun Network, and then we'll get to your animal.
Hello, teachers and faculty. This is Janet Varney. I'm here to remind you that listening to my podcast, The JV Club with Janet Varney, is part of the curriculum for the school year. Learning about the teenage years of such guests as Allison Brie, Vicki Peterson, John Hodgman, and so many more is a valuable and enriching experience. One you have no choice but to embrace because, yes, listening is mandatory. The JV Club with Janet Varney is available every Thursday on Maximum Fun or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you. And remember, no running in the halls.
If you need a laugh and you're on the go, try STOPPODCASTI.
Were you trying to put the name of the podcast there?
Yeah, I'm trying to spell it, but it's tricky.
Let me give it a try.
Okay.
If you need a laugh and you're on the go, call STOPPPAD. It'll never fit.
No, it will. Let me try. If you need a laugh and you're on the go, try STOPPPDCOO. We are so close.
Stop podcasting yourself.
A podcast from MaximumFun.org.
If you need a laugh and you're on the go.
So, my love, what animal do you have for us this week?
The animal I'm talking about is the honey badger.
I'm very excited for this one.
Yes.
How challenging is this one going to be to keep PG?
Not very. My notes are not, but that's for me.
Well, that's just a special little behind the scenes A little special treat for you.
Yeah. Also known as either pronounced ratel or maybe ratel.
Never heard that in my life.
Ratel.
Never in my entire life have I heard of that.
Yeah. A scientific name.
But I have to admit, I had never heard of a honey badger before, the video.
Yeah. So, scientific name, Mellivora capensis. This was submitted by Avan from Singapore.
Thank you, Avan.
And I'm getting my information from National Geographic and Animal Diversity Web. So normally I would talk about this at the very end in the kind of other things column, but I feel like I should start off with it. Honey badger became very popular.
Yes, for sure. A meteoric skyrocket to fame.
Do you remember how long ago that video was?
Oh my gosh. Let me guess. I'm going to guess what year that video came out. I'm guessing 2011.
Nailed it.
Was it 2011?
Yes.
Yes.
So
it's because I remember what grade I was in high school when that video came out.
Yeah. 2011 YouTube video by a person named Randall or YouTuber CZG123.
Yeah, Randall is way catchier. Rolls off the tongue a little better.
In which Randall was narrating a documentary footage of the honey badger in a very humorous way.
Yes. We can't repeat any of it.
Yes.
Well, we can say, what is it? Honey badger don't care? Is that what it is? That's as far as we can get into that video.
A lot of this footage was from National Geographic documentary, maybe multiple.
What did they have to say about redubbed footage of their, I'm assuming, copywritten documentary?
Well, it's funny you mention that because on the web page on their website about the honey badger, it starts off with something to the effect of like, some people say honey badgers don't care or something like that lines. And then we think that's wrong, and then just going to the
they're really clapping back, huh?
Yeah. But it's all in playful,
yeah,
I assume. So what does a honey badger look like? It is a mammal, walks on 4 legs. It has black fur with like a white or silvery fur on the top of its body, kind of like a skunk.
I was thinking skunk-like, yeah,
but wider area of that lighter colored hair. So they're a little short and stout, and their front paws have really long claws on them.
It's a lot like a wolverine, I think, in like appearance and in attitude and in coloration.
And size-wise, they range from 60 to 70 centimeters long, or about 2 feet. And weigh 8 to 12 kilograms or 18 to 26 pounds.
That's a lot of attitude and not a lot of body.
Yeah, which kind of goes along with what you're saying there. Because, the character Wolverine is also not particularly tall.
Sure.
But very beefy and wide.
Yeah.
So these can be found in actually quite a few places. Sub-Saharan Africa, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Western Asia.
Okay, so it seems like dry, arid sort of places.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's a big question. Is it a badger?
Yes? Question mark?
Oh.
I didn't come across anything saying otherwise.
Oh. I didn't know if there was some sort of taxonomy here, because I know of badger, I know of the American badger, and I know of the European badger. But I don't know where the honey badger falls in all that.
So it is a member of the Mustelidae family, which does contain badgers as well as weasels and otters and things like that.
They're cuter cousins.
What I was surprised of was, for some reason, I thought skunks were in this family, but they are not.
Yeah, not quite. They're close, but they're not totally.
They were thought to be until I think sometime in the 90s.
Which I could get. I get it.
Yeah.
It's giving weasel.
Mm-hmm. So, jumping right into our categories, our first one of effectiveness, I am giving a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're packing a punch, huh?
Strong. Goes where it wants to go.
Oh, yeah. They're not going to let the world push them around.
Yeah. So first up, they are voracious omnivores. They are particularly fond of honey and honeybee larvae, which is where they get their name.
You do have to have a particular breed of audacity to go for bees, because they don't love for you to do that.
Yeah. I'm guessing the adult bees must not be very tasty, at least in comparison to the honey and the larvae.
Right. That's the juicy bits, I guess. Well, I mean, the adult ones, they have stingers, right? So, that's the spicy part. You don't want to eat around that.
It's maybe like an efficiency thing, like how bears will only eat certain parts of salmon when they are plentiful, right?
Yeah, some like marine animals will do this too. Like if they know that only a certain part of the animal's body is really like rich in fat or nutrients, they'll like just skip straight to that part and leave the rest of the body. I think sunfish do this, mola molas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. They will even eat venomous things like snakes, including puff adders and cobras.
Now, interesting. They're eating the venomous snakes. Are they just not getting bitten? Are they immune to the venom?
So, in addition to those, they're also eating scorpions, by the way.
Throw that in there too. Just a little top your salad with some scorpions.
They are thought to be resistant to the venom.
Oh.
Yeah. So they've evolved receptors that no longer bind with the type of neurotoxins found in things like cobra venom.
This reminds me of the grasshopper mouse, because the grasshopper mouse also, like, they're like neurons adapted to the shape of their like neuroreceptor. I'm gonna have to go back to my notes about this, but like the shape of the receptors in their brain adapted to no longer be affected by the toxin.
Right. Now, this particular kind of resistance has come about in 3 other mammals too. So mongooses, hedgehogs, and pigs.
Pigs?
Yeah, I didn't know about that one.
What do they need that for?
Now, this ultimately gives them a food option that not many other animals are vying for.
That's true. That's true. Most animals, I think, would pass that meal up.
Mm-hmm. And that information actually comes from a paper by Drebeck, Dean, and Johnson titled, "Why the Honey Badger Don't Care." Convergent evolution of venom-targeted nicotinic acetylcholine receptors in mammals that survive venomous snake bites.
Okay, first of all, good on them for getting the meme in there.
Yes.
If you can, just like strike while the iron's hot.
This was from 2015, so it was only 4 years old at that point.
That was a little bit less, not so far removed. It's a little stale these days. I wonder if kids these days know about the honey badger video.
I don't know.
Are we like completely narrow casting to the like elder millennials who remember that video?
Probably, yeah.
It's so old.
Resistant to the venom.
Here, let me translate for our Gen Alpha listeners. It was the skibbity toilet of our generation.
I'm not partaking in this.
The honey badger had W Riz.
I'm yes knowing you.
Play with me.
So, some other things I got going on for them. I mentioned their claws, and those claws on the front feet are really good for grasping prey and also digging.
Yeah, sure.
To get at some kinds of prey.
They remind me of the those claw tools you can get for like shredding up pulled pork.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure that inspiration goes the other way around. Not the honey badger specifically, but...
Right. They also have thick, loose skin. So that being loose makes it harder for things to grab them. So it lets them slip out of like an actual grab or maybe even a bite. And of course, their skin being thick helps protect them from things like bee stings, for example.
Oh, yeah, that would come in really handy, wouldn't it?
They are resistant to bee stings, but not immune to them. So if they get too many, it's still a bad time.
So in D&D terms, there's a difference between a resistance and an immunity.
Correct. Half damage versus no damage.
Yes. I like to imagine that since you said that they have like loose skin, I like to imagine that they're kind of like floppy and baggy, like a bloodhound or something.
Yeah, that's how
they're
I imagine
walking
it.
around just like bloop.
For sure. Their reproduction may involve delayed implantation in some populations. And their young are born blind and hairless. They're little and cute.
Mammals, like carnivores, do not have their act together in the newborn department. Helpless. We just talked about the zebra who's ready to go in 20 minutes.
I gotta.
They hit the ground running. They are immediately up and at 'em. Come on, get y'all's act together.
Yeah,
figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I think we share some of that with this.
And I think we should take some cues from the ungulates. Although now that I think about the experience of actually raising a child, I'm pretty glad they're not born immediately like able to just hit a dead sprint, because
sprinting for nuggets.
That would be horrendous if they were just born already ready to cause as much chaos as physically possible.
Yeah. Oh, they have an interesting longevity difference between the wild and captivity.
Oh, really? I've never seen one in captivity. I didn't think about them being kept in captivity.
I don't think I have either. But they're in the wild, they live around 7 to 8 years. 7 to 8 years.
Oh, that was a good clarification. I was like, hold up.
Yeah. But in captivity, they could live up to 26 years.
That is a huge discrepancy.
The reason is there's a big risk of predation from larger predators as they get older and are not able to defend themselves as well.
I would also imagine that they're probably getting themselves into a good bit of trouble.
Yes. So being, hurt by other species, but also other members of their species.
Sure. Fighting
Yes.
with each other,
Yeah.
but also picking fights with another predator that might be a little bigger than you.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely like fantasy warrior culture that as soon as you're too old or otherwise too injured to fight, that's it.
Yeah, you're done.
They have a smell attack.
A what?
Smell attack. They have enlarged anal glands that can produce a bad smelling liquid when threatened.
This is very skunk.
Yes.
We're getting really into skunk territory.
Apparently, there's a lot of mustelids have this kind of thing going for them, too.
Okay. All right.
So there's some reason why we thought skunks were part of the mustelids, I suppose.
I didn't realize that honey badgers had a stink bomb attack that they could deploy at will.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the one I'm least concerned with.
That's true. I mean, if you've hit the stink bomb phase of the attack, you have bigger problems.
I'm probably already bleeding at this point. Our next category of ingenuity, I'm giving a 7 out of 10.
Oh.
I didn't find a whole lot here, but they will steal food from other animals, including other carnivores.
See, this is kind of what I was thinking might be contributing to their shorter
Yes.
lifespan in the wild, right? Because, if they're squaring up with, some lions or, hyenas or something, they could be in for a really bad time.
Right. Speaking of which, those predators that might prey upon them when they grow old and weak do include lions, hyenas, and leopards.
Yeah, sure, yeah. If you've already spent your whole life kind of harassing them and stealing their prey, they might be just as soon as they see you start to grow a few extra gray hairs, they're just cracking their knuckles. They're like,
sweet revenge.
It's time.
They will make dens from those of other animals that have abandoned them.
I wonder how willful that that abandonment of the den is.
Wow, look at this. There's no one here.
Anymore.
Hey, wait a minute.
Ignore the trail of blood leading from out of the den.
Yeah. The young are raised only by the female. Happy Mother's Day.
Boo. Boo.
Yeah. But the mom will provide food for that young for the first 10 to 12 months of their lives.
That is a long time.
Yeah.
For a small animal, usually they kind of kick him out the door pretty quick.
Yep. And then they gain independence around 14 months old. So they do have a bit of a rap sheet of being very aggressive and gutsy. A history of being gutsy. So they will charge attackers.
Yeah. I mean, I think
everything has a fight or flight kind of decision to make. It feels like theirs is a little bit more lopsided to one direction there.
I feel like, especially for a small creature like this, sometimes some of them can get away with the startle factor of if you are loud and mean enough, then whatever might be trying to hunt you might just figure, oh, you're not worth it. You're not worth the trouble, right? And then just move on to something easier.
Yeah.
Or it might just be oh God, it's crazy.
It stinks.
It smells awful and it's insane.
It's yelling.
It's screaming. It's loud and annoying and mean. This is also how I protect myself from predators.
And then that brings us to our final category of aesthetics, which I didn't actually put a score for some reason.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to give it a 7.
There are cuter badgers.
Yeah. But the young are very cute. So they are short and stout and they have those long claws. Here's what's interesting. They are being copied.
What? By whomst?
Cheetah cubs.
No, not cheetahs.
Yes.
What?
So cheetah cubs have a similar coloration where the mantle, the back part of them has a silvery coloration to it.
Oh, that's diabolical.
And the thought is like the cheetah cubs evolved to look that way because that makes them look like honey badgers, and it makes them less likely to be hunted by other like predators.
Oh, that's so funny, because the honey badgers, like, you see that coloration and you're like, oh god, this is gonna be a whole thing, I'm gonna leave them alone. Like,
now, funny little backstory when I came across this little tidbit. The way it was written in the first place I saw it made me think it was implying that it was the other way around, that for some reason the honey badgers were trying to look like cheetah cubs.
Oh, that's funny.
In what way would that help them?
Because cheetahs are notoriously kind of like the wimpiest big cat.
Yeah.
Like, they're built for speed, and they're kind of a glass cannon, like, they're not...
Yeah.
They're not the bulkiest, the scariest big cat,
I was like, is it meant to be like a ploy? Like to make them think like, call an ambulance, but not for me.
They're supposed to look defenseless.
But no, I thought I had the good thought to look elsewhere for that little tidbit of information, and then realized, they meant
it's the other way around. But that's interesting. It is interesting that they would develop that mimicry, but only as young, right? That they grow out of it when they're old enough to maybe escape or defend themselves.
Yeah, because good luck.
That's interesting. It's like a temporary mimicry that you just like need for a little while, and then once you're big enough to defend yourself, then you don't need it anymore.
The illusion probably breaks when they get bigger.
That's true. It's like, clearly,
because they get much bigger than the honey badger eventually.
Yeah. Oh, but like, yeah, I guess they're like, okay, while I'm this big, I can act like I might be a honey badger. Cheetah cubs are so cute.
They are cute. But I guess I never realized that coloration difference in the cheetah cubs.
I have seen like cheetah cubs and noticed that they had very different like coloration as cubs, but I don't know. I guess because I'm thinking about how like deer have very different colors as young. I guess it didn't even clock to me. Or like boar or like baby pigs and stuff will have very different coloration as babies than they will as grown. So I guess it didn't really register to me, but that makes a lot of sense now that you say that.
So conservation status, they are least concern for the IUCN since 2015.
They're about to make you concerned. They're going to be your concern real quick.
So the idea is that their overall population is declining, but they're found over like a pretty wide range in the world, and also are dietary generalists.
That helps.
So
yeah, if you're not like entirely reliant on one food source, then you're a little less ecologically precariously placed.
Yes, so they're pretty hardy there.
That's good. I will say, I said that there are cuter badgers. I would put them below the European badger, which is like the classic children's storybook, little round puppy face badger, right?
Another classic YouTube video, badger mushroom.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. Those are European badgers.
Yes.
And I would put the honey badger below European badger, but I would put it above American badger, because the American badger is a mess. She is disheveled.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the honey badger.
What did you think of the YouTube video?
The comedy does not hold up to today's standards, I think.
Can I tell you something? I didn't think it was that funny when it first came out.
Yeah.
I was never really on the bandwagon about it. Like, I knew that it was like this sort of sensation that everybody, at the time there was a little bit more of an internet monoculture.
Right.
Where like if a video went really viral, everybody had seen it. Whereas now things are a little bit more sort of sectioned into like niches of the internet ecosystem. At the time, it was like if you had one viral video, it was like everybody in the country saw it. And so like everybody was quoting the honey badger video, and I always thought it was kind of annoying.
Yeah. I was kind of in the trenches of my college experience at the time. So I remember coming across and be like, oh, that's kind of funny. And just kind of moving on to the next thing.
I remember just being kind of annoyed, but I also wonder if maybe I was a little bit annoyed because of like, I have this like inner know-it-all attitude where I was like, this guy's getting honey badgers wrong. Like,
now it does feel like it kind of paved the way for some later things with viral videos and animals, like the Snoop Dogg dub of
I love
animals.
those.
Yes.
Yeah, there was. I think this was like a sketch. Wasn't this a sketch from like, I don't know, Saturday Night Live or something?
Something like that.
It was some sort of like show where they had Snoop Dogg dub narration unscripted. He was completely off the dome, making it up as he watched of like nature documentary footage, and it was really funny because Snoop Dogg is a naturally very funny person, kind of like effortlessly. But I felt like the honey badger video felt a little forced to me. You know what I mean? Like it felt a little like someone was trying really hard to be funny, and
it was very representative of the stuff coming out at the time.
So extremely 2011, like peak 2011. Yeah, that is the vibe I get from that.
Now, one of the things I think of with the Snoop Dogg dubs is where he did the one for the classic, the marine iguana trying to escape the snakes on a beach. Yeah, and
it was very clear that like he did not know what was going to happen next, so he was like very like on the edge of his seat, just like everybody else watching it.
Right,
it was very cool. Well, I think we still say "What is these animals?" like on a daily basis. We say, what is these animals?
But it's less often after learning so many animals.
I know. Now we know. We usually know what they are.
It's still exciting coming across something else. I have no idea.
Yeah. I like it when a video of like an obscure animal gets really popular on like TikTok or something, and the comments will be like, "New animal just dropped." Or people will be like, "Are they just making up new animals now? Because like, why do we not hear about these?"
Yeah.
Which always is kind of funny to me if it's something I have known about for a long time, and then people are like acting like this animal like just spawned into existence because they just found out about it.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny, but that felt like a big PR move for the honey badger, because honestly, I don't think I had ever heard of a honey badger before that video, and I don't know if I would have otherwise.
Right.
Because you don't really see them in like documentaries. They're not usually like the star of the show, right? They don't have the star factor.
They didn't get a spot in The Lion King.
They didn't. Well, did they? I don't know. Maybe they did. I'd have to.
Oh wait, hold on. What about?
I think there's
in
one.
The show?
There's one in the show. In that little show, there's like a spin-off show.
Yeah.
I think there's a honey badger in that show. Yeah.
Or maybe like a porcupine, perhaps. I don't. The design of that character is a little nebulous.
Hold on. I bet I can look it up. Oh, yep. Sure is.
Is it?
Bunga the honey badger. Maybe it's Bunga. Bunga or Bunga the honey badger, and his friend Kion the lion cub.
Isn't his whole thing bravery?
Oh yeah, Bunga is invited to join as the bravest member.
Yeah.
Bunga the honey badger. You were right. There is a little honey badger in that show, and he's really cute. That show Lion Guard did a really good job of like making characters out of really obscure like African animals. It's really cool. It's a cute show.
Yeah.
I like when Finley watches it.
It's been a while though.
I know.
Should reintroduce that.
I know. Maybe he's old enough to appreciate it now.
So that's the honey badger.
Thank you. What a lovely time. I appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who has listened and spent this time with us. It means a lot to us. If you liked what you heard today, I would love it if you could leave behind some nice words in a review on your podcast app of choice. If you have a cool animal you'd like to hear us talk about on the show, you can send me an email at ellen@justthezooofus.com. We would like to thank Maximum Fun for having us on the network alongside the other fantastic shows that like the ones that you heard promos for here earlier today. And also a brand new Max Fun show just came out. It's called Primer, and it is about music. So the first episode of Primer is about Japanese city pop, which if you're a 90s anime girly like me, you will really enjoy that. So do go check that out if that sounds up your alley. If you'd like to learn more about the network and the other shows and how you can be a part of supporting our show, head over to MaximumFun.org. And finally, we would like to thank Louis Zong for our theme music, which slaps. You know, the more I think about it, we had a lot of parallels between our animals. They were both African mammals, black and white, have been in the news. It's a nice thematically cohesive episode.
Good job, us.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
Supported
directly
by you.